It's Sunday the 21st of February 2016. This is a chart for Alkane Resources. Alkane's a stock. I haven't done many videos of this one for maybe a year since it had this nice little run up at the start of last year. It's a stock that I've held for quite some years now. Basically, I've been buying all in this consolidation period. Alkane trades at about $100 million market cap. It has a 65,000 ounce gold mine, probably producing around about $25 million of free cash and maybe a 5-year mine life. If it was trading with just those metrics, you'd probably think the market cap should be about 150 million based on a lot of some of the gold stocks on the market with a one mine operation. But Alkane also probably has the most advanced rare earths project in the world with tremendous upside. I mean, obviously, a lot of the rare earth bubble really popped. Alkane went from about these levels 5 years ago and went on a tremendous run up to over $2 and has come all the way back down and consolidated. But if you want to be in a company with a development project like Alkane, you want that downside protected. Otherwise, you can go all the way towards zero and trade at a few cents, which is what a lot of companies similar to Alkane have done. But Alkane had that backup of the gold mining operation, which is really, it's a pretty well run operation. I think they've had a few issues recently. We've had to spend quite a bit on developing some new pits, but I think a lot of that development work's probably done in the short term, and you can see their costs drop toward. I think the long-term costs for the operation are maybe $1,000 to $1,100 an ounce, which is pretty good. That's on a par with most of the gold mining operations in Australia. So with the gold price up above 1,700, I think they'll probably hedge a lot of their production, so they might lock in $500 to $600 margins, and that really just helps them while the rare earth market is coming back. And it's been coming back for a while, but I think there are some real signs that Alkane's project will go up eventually. I mean, it's a $1 billion funding project, so it's a huge project, but they've got all the they've probably got all the sort of technical information to go ahead with the project. They've got a few sort of memorandums of understanding with potential partners, and they've got all the irons in the fire to make this a real project. Their management seems very reliable. It's really just been the market that's been the problem. And what's interested me in the last few weeks is, this chart did nothing for 9 months in this little downtrend here. We've seen very little volume, and just recently I don't know if there's been a substantial holder liquidating or something else, or if the stock's starting to trade as a gold stock, but the volume's really come in and it's starting to look interesting. The last time that happened, we had this tremendous little run up here from 20 to 40 cents, which that's when I was charting this, and I charted that and picked that sort of high and sold a few up there. And there's potential for that sort of move to happen again. But if you're looking for a stock which has got the downside protected, but really got that tremendous fundamental potential, I think Alkane's in that category. Good management as well, and I think whether or not it does a sort of a similar run, probably unlikely in the medium term. But it's a well-run company with good downside protection. It's a sort of company you just got to sit on and hold. I know a lot of people have been selling out probably in the last couple of years while it's done nothing, and that might have been the right move. But at some point, I think this stock starts to trade a lot higher. This chart action's a bit interesting. I know they've got some. The final development approval they're looking for, I think, is due in the next few weeks as well. So there's a little bit of fundamentals there. They've said that some of their partnerships, some of their memorandums, they're looking to transform those into joint venture agreements and potentially funding. When that final approval comes in, that also helps. Maybe the funding is tied to that final approval. So anyone who's been in talks for a while might try and make their talk into something more concrete and a financing deal as well. So I think good downside protection, good exposure to Australian dollar gold price, and a really good project. This is a company you want to hold, but you got to be prepared to sit around but I think there's some real potential here for it to start to move higher.